This video is sponsored by Skillshare. I had to try this. I saw this incredible ceramic book by Alumine Fernandez on Instagram, and I knew I'd have to try it. I did make a clay hinge once before in my Polly Pocket video, but in that video, the hinge was made out of wood. In this project, the hinge will be made entirely out of clay. So let's get into it. Okay. Might not be wide enough. Let's make it 22 centimeters. Okay. What now? We just roll it up? I don't remember how I did this with the Polly Pocket thing. I feel like it was something similar, but I don't know. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good, I feel like. What do we think? I have no idea. I have no idea. So I'm going to extrude the pin now, and I was just trying to figure out which one of my circle dies that I want to use, and I don't have the perfect size, I fear. The hole here is 27 millimeters. The perfect circle would be, this is 2.4. So that means that there would be a 3 millimeters of wiggle room, which I don't really trust myself, but I don't want to use the smaller one because the smaller one is so much smaller. I fear that the pages are going to be super like loose, and I don't want that. So I feel like I must simply try the bigger one. And I suppose what I can do is I can extrude it and then very gently roll it out a little bit thinner. I'm not sure if I want to do that either though. We're just gonna extrude this bigger one. We'll see how thick the pin ends up being. Yeah, let's do it. It does feel a little silly to set up the extruder for one tiny round strip, but it's important that this thing is as perfect as possible, and I just can't roll a coil that perfect. Okay, I was able to pull 2 out of that. And I fear I must wait for these to dry now. I fear I must wait for them to get leather hard because there's no use in messing with them right now. They're just gonna get wonky. But one other thing I can do today is roll out the pages. So let's do that. I think I'm gonna make them 1 centimeter thick because the hinge itself is just over 4 centimeters thick. I feel that makes sense. Good morning. Today we are going to assemble the hinge, hopefully. So everything dried under plastic overnight, and I feel like, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like we're at a good level of dryness, and this part is critical for the next steps. I guess let's just dive in. I did realize one thing last night that I might have messed up here, but I'll explain that when we get to that point. I'm like, I really don't know what the next step should be. Do I want to cut these? Yeah, I'm gonna cut them before I remove the post. That makes sense. So how wide should I cut these? 9 rings, and then each ring is going to be 2 centimeters wide. That's fine, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to use this triangle to make my cuts as straight as possible. Okay. So like, as long as the inside is round, I feel like it's fine. Because this seam, I was thinking I can attach the pages to the seam. So it's gonna be like this, right? And then this will run smoothly because this is all perfect, I think. Okay, but this is the end piece. Let's see if she fits. Right, okay, so this is what I was thinking about last night. There needs to be 3 of these hinge chunks that are fixed to this. And how am I going to get 3 of them fixed to this when there's a pretty significant gap here? You see what I mean? I was thinking either I make that new, probably I would opt for, but then I would need to wait until it's leather hard again. Time-wise, that's fine, but I'm worried in the meantime, this is gonna dry out too much. So I don't want to do that. What I think I'm going to do instead is add a little 1/4 centimeter thickness of a slab around this to kind of buffer that gap. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. In an ideal world, I would have an extruder die that would be this width, but not a tube, like solid. And I just don't have that. This is the biggest circle die I have. So I need to make it work. I think I can make it work, but the question is like, how messy is it going to be? We shall see. Now let's finish cutting these. Okay, I have 9 of them. Now we're gonna start assembling. I need to not let these dry out as I'm working on them, so I'm gonna have them in plastic. This is the part I'm nervous about. Okay, this is looking pretty good, but I also need to roll out some clay. Question is, how thick do I roll the clay out? I feel like it's 2 millimeters too narrow, like all the way around. I have thickness gauges that are 3 millimeters. So let's just see, we're gonna try. So the end pieces do need to be attached, right? Because otherwise, it's just gonna be too loosey-goosey. And then I'm also gonna attach one in the middle. Okay, I cut a 2 centimeter strip and I'm gonna attach it here as that buffer. I feel like I'm way overconfident about this, but I kind of feel like this might work. Let's see. I should not jinx it. Like, I did dig through the original artist's Instagram to try and figure out if it was on there at all. I just looked on her website. She said something about offering a online class about how to do this. I don't think it's happened yet. Otherwise I would have attended. But if you're interested in probably a better way of doing this, you might want to check that out. Okay. So this is 3 millimeters thick and I only need it to be 2. So I'm going to not worry too much if I squish this guy a little bit. I am worried if I bend my pin though. Let me put this up on here. I'm really worried about deforming my pin. So hopefully I'm not making it too thick to actually stick in here. That's too thick. Let me roll it down a little bit. I feel like I can. Okay, let me score. I feel like this is a really backwards way of doing it, but I feel like also I can't think of another way. Nice. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. That is getting squished. This is not working. I don't know, did you see that? It just kind of squished it. It didn't stay. Plan B, we're gonna roll out more of these and attach them as if this is the pole that we just did yesterday, right? Okay, plan B. Okay, That is much better. That feels correct. I feel like I need to let this set up a little bit before I keep working, but let's see how this looks together. All right, y'all. This is the way to do it. Look how they're the same size, basically. That's fine. Okay. It's fine if like you can tell, I suppose, that one's attached and one's not. But okay, I need to I'm gonna give this like solid 10 minutes to kind of set up, and then we can keep working. I'm excited though. I just realized I made a really stupid and critical mistake, and I don't wanna just go with it because that's really gonna mess everything up. I put too few. I should have put 3 loose tines. Are they called tines? Tubes in between instead of 3. I should have put 3. So that's frustrating. I think I'm gonna just try and take this piece off here, and hopefully it didn't completely mess up my pin. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's fresh clay. Oh, don't fall. So it didn't stick very well, but I need to smooth this out as best as I can. Any mistake, any extra wonk is going to, make this function less good. And so that was really dumb of me, but I feel like I saved it. Thank God I didn't get further. The reason I noticed is because I was like, this is a lot smaller than I was imagining it to be. It's like, what? What's going on here? Okay, that wasn't so bad. I feel like I saved it. It's fine. It's going to be fine. I'm not worried how it looks. Like if it looks a little messed up, I just want it to be as smooth as possible. Okay, we're back in business. I have to do that again. Okay, I'm gonna cut off the end. We're done. We have 3 and 3. We have the right amount of tines, right? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna cut the pin now. Okay, when I hold it up like this, you can see there's a bit of a gap here and here. That's intentional. My biggest fear was that they wouldn't be the same size, and they more or less are, because we need a little bit of space between the hinge tines and between each of them. And more or less it's going to be evenly distributed. So it won't look as wonky as when the hinge is standing up by itself. My hinge is completed. I was planning on attaching the pages today. I actually don't think I'm going to do that because this needs to set up, this needs to homogenize. It's too fragile right now. And I want to also be able to go in and smooth some things out more, but I can't do that until it's more dry. So I'm going to wrap this up really well in plastic and let it homogenize overnight. And I think today still I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pages, but I'm just not going to attach them yet. This is what we shall do. Yeah, that's what we shall do. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just let these dry and set up until tomorrow, and I'll see you then. While I'm waiting for those to dry out, I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm actually going to put inside of these book pages. As you know, I've been playing around a lot with tiles and different patterns. And to help me brainstorm patterns, I took a class from today's sponsor, Skillshare. As you know, Skillshare has loads of great classes taught by world-class creatives. The pattern design class that I took is by illustrator Mel Armstrong, and she walked me through designing a bunch of unique geometric patterns on a tablet. This skill is really helpful to me because I can easily easily experiment with different color combinations, and her teaching was really clear and empowering. Whenever I want to learn a new creative skill, my first thought is, I wonder if Skillshare has a class on that. And it usually does. They have classes in illustration, graphic design, crafting, and even entrepreneurship. The platform is designed to help you build creativity into your life by learning directly from real, super talented, and successful creatives. And for November only, in addition to a 1-month trial, Skillshare is offering 20% off your first year of membership. The first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan the QR code will receive 1 month free trial plus 20% off your first payment. Get started today. Good morning. We are going to assemble the book today. At least that's the plan. I have sort of an idea how I'm going to do this, but we shall see. This is a little bit on the wet side still, and I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe I'm gonna pop this in front of the fan for a few minutes before I get everything out. While that dries out a bit, I'm going to smooth the edges. Because I feel like as soon as everything's assembled, I need to touch it as little as possible. So any sort of edges that I have on here, I'm going to do now. Okay, it's still a little on the wet side, but the loose rings are fairly dry, so I want to start assembling now. My issue is that it's not evenly dry. I was hoping that wrapping it up overnight would make it evenly dry, but the end posts and the middle post are on the wet side and the rings are on the dry side. So anyway, because of that, I want to assemble it now. These are also a little on the wet side. I don't know, maybe it's good that they're a little wet so that they adhere better. I have a plan. I don't think I can describe it though, so I'm just gonna show you. Hope it works. I did have a plan yesterday as well, and that didn't work, but well, there's always a plan B. I mean, look at that. That looks really cool. Okay. I'm a little scared. So where's my notes? So I'm gonna copy what the original artist did in terms of how many tines each page is attached to in the order. We're doing 2 tines per page except for the top page, which is the fixed posts, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Like to me, I feel like the back should be on the fixed posts, but I feel like let's trust the original artist here because I don't fully trust myself to make that decision. So that means this one and this one will be attached to the back. And if you remember, I said I would attach them at the point where there's the seam of the ring. So I just gotta find that and turn it. I'm just gonna stack them and attach them one by one. I'll add some coil to reinforce it, and then I think I have to flip it and add coil on the back side once it's bloop, 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 once it's all done. I'm feeling strangely confident about this all, but this might all still go terribly, terribly wrong. My biggest fear about this project is that I'm not going to be able to move them, which I think is a very reasonable fear. We are going to fire it not stacked. That's like, you know, the biggest mystery about how she managed to do this. The original artist, Alumine, she says very clearly in her comments how she does it, which is very kind of her to divulge her secrets. But we're going to fire it propped open. To fully understand what I mean, you're just gonna have to wait and see. But that's also very scary because a lot can go on. A lot can happen during that stay. Like that looks good, but it's just one. And then do they stack? Because now there's some thickness here. Should I have made the bottom one a little wider? See, it's like an overhang now, which is not what I wanted. Maybe I can bevel it? I'm too lazy to look up on my phone now if she beveled the edges, but I feel like I'm gonna do that. That's the best thing to do, I think. So let's just add coil here. It's not quite, but it is close. That's the solution. I feel like I might just trim this a little bit because no one is going to be able to tell. Or do I leave it? You know how like old books, wait, they go like this. How do we feel about that, y'all? How do we feel about that? But then this will go back in, won't it? Yeah. Am I being like crazy picky right now? I feel like it's gonna be more like out and then in again, which I do kind of mind. Okay, let's trim them just a tiny, tiny little bit. The inner ones, and then I think the outer ones will remain. This wants me to trim it 1 millimeter. I'm gonna trim it 2 millimeters. Can't be bothered to move the camera right now, so you're just gonna have to trust me that I'm cutting off 2 millimeters. See, when it just lines up perfectly, that's what we want. Okay, so back, and then this one. And we have 3 more of these. We can do this. Okay, so that went fairly smoothly, spookily smoothly. Do we flip this and add the coils to the other side, or do I let it set up for a little bit? I feel like I can flip it, but I would need to support the hinge somehow, because the hinge did end up being shorter than the pages, which I'm not super a fan of, but it's fine. I feel like no one's gonna notice that but me. What do we do? Kind of wanted to finish this today. It's just a little bit shorter. Can I prop it up somehow? Like a rib, maybe? Feel like that works? Okay. Wish I had made this on a board. You're gonna try and flip this thing now. Oh God. It moved. I'm so scared to touch this, but I have to open it in order to do the insides. How on earth did she do this? I mean, let me just start with the outside, which is the easy part. So if it's not clear what I'm doing, I'm basically just doing the same thing, but to the other side, so that there's a coil on each side supporting that connection. Just a little extra cushion on each side, basically. Now what? I feel like I need to let this dry. I might come back later today, I might just come back tomorrow, but I do want to let this firm up for, I don't know, a little bit, at least a couple hours under plastic. I dare not touch it, because the more I mess with it before it's firm, the more likely I weaken the bonds and then cracks appear. Cracks are our nemesis in this project. I think cracks, the pages sticking to each other, and probably 500 other things that I can't think of right now. Okay, let me wrap this up, and I'll see you either later today or tomorrow. It's been about 3 hours, so I wanna see if we can finish this today, at least finish assembling. I'll try to open it now. Okay. I mean, I know the pages turn. I'm worried about putting any pressure on the joins, because any pressure that I put, it's gonna increase the chance of cracks. So, okay, I have access to this one now. So let me put my coils in this one. No. Oof. We have a crack. This is what I was worried about. We have a crack. This is exactly what I was worried about. Turning these. I don't know what to do. I think I just need to stuff more clay into it, because it's so weak. It's such a weak attachment. Yeah, it's not good. But The attachment on the other side, I think is gonna hold. I wanna check, but I don't dare move this. I can always patch it up tomorrow, I suppose. Let me work on this connection again. I'm gonna add some more clay, and then tomorrow we can check it and see if it's gonna work. I just want to close it. I want to close it. I'm scared, but we're gonna try. Okay, a bit of cracking here, but less. I might be able to fix that. I wonder, I feel like it's sitting differently because I have it up on this thing maybe? It's just a little hairline crack, which is not good, but maybe we can fix it. Like once the cracks appear, it's not like surface level, you know, they go deep. So any cracking is bad, even if it looks really small. But my hope is that I can like stuff clay into the crack. I don't know, I mean, that's the only thing you can do, right, is try and patch it. I'm feeling a lot less confident about this build than I was a few hours ago. I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then I wanted to do some carving on the pages before I fire it. Do I dare do that? I at least want to come back tomorrow and check on it. So I will see you then, I guess. Pray for my book. I think I figured it out, guys. I was thinking about this all last night, and I don't know, my mind wandered to how I'm going to fire it. And the trick with firing a piece like this, assuming we're going to also glaze the inside, is we're gonna prop it up like so, right? So like the pages are all going to splay out. There's 4 pages, so they're all going to be out. And then that's how we're going to be able to glaze the inside and fire the inside. What I realized last night is maybe, just maybe, this is how the original artist attached these pieces, attached the pages. Because the issue I've been having, I'm not sure how clear I made it, is that I attach it and then I have to move it. And then the moving itself is the thing that's going to weaken that attachment. I want to check out how I did yesterday, and I am going to set it up so that the pages are all splayed out. Hopefully nothing is going to shift or rub wrongly against each other by doing that. But I think I need to do this anyway because this thing is not going to dry unless these pages are more exposed. Like if I let it dry like this, it's going to take 100 years. We ain't got time for that. So let me see how we did, and I'm going to try and, you know, actually, I take it back. I should put it on the final, oh, I should put it on the kiln shelf. Come on, you. Is there something getting caught here? What are you getting caught on? I like can't put any force on this because then it's going to, ooh, okay. Got movement. So now I can kind of get in here and see in between. See, this is why I should have attached them like this, because I don't know if you can see, but there's the tiniest of gaps down here. It's the tiniest of gaps. You can probably see the shadow, right? This wants to go down, so that's gonna put pressure on this joint. And so if I originally attached them in this splayed out manner, that would have corrected itself. Like, I know it's kind of crazy, but this just makes so much more sense because I can get into each and every attachment. I think if you're gonna try this project, I would recommend doing this from the start. So you just attach them straight on and don't worry about how they lay. I don't know if that's gonna cause problems later on, but I feel like this is the right method. I'm a little uncertain now though, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the interior design that I had intended to do, like laid out like this. Like I'm not gonna do that until it's bisqued, but I'm also like nervous to even move it off this kiln shelf. You know what I mean? Like ideally I let it dry on this kiln shelf, fire it on this kiln shelf, glaze it on this kiln shelf, and then put it back in, because the more we touch the hinge, the more likely it is to break. I don't know, but I really like my idea. So I might risk it. Maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. Like, I guess I have to try it so I can report back to y'all if it works. I feel like we're doing okay. After a bit of a panic yesterday, I'm a little uncertain. Also, I should have put quartz down so that this could shift. I worry also now it's gonna shrink and it might get stuck on the kiln shelf and cause cracking. Cracking, so many options for cracking. I've already resigned to the fact that it is going to have cracks. I'm just hoping they're not structural cracks. I guess I'm just gonna let it dry out like this. And then once it's dry, we'll load it into the kiln. So I'll see you then. And pray to the drying gods. It's been about a week. This has been drying. I dried it slowly. So first under plastic and then cloth and then slowly in the normal air. I think I'm gonna do a short candle. So just slowly increase the temperature until around 100 degrees and then let it sit there for a little bit. That's candling so it can evaporate the rest of the water out. But I have to put it in now because I have to move on with this project. So, okay. I mean, right now, I'm not seeing any cracks. I mean, it's a good sign, obviously, but I am not assuming that this thing will not crack because of that. I think there is a very high likelihood that we experience some cracks. But that's okay. Wish me luck. Oh my God, it survived. I haven't tried to move it yet. I just lifted it out of the kiln, but it looks okay. I don't see any cracks. That doesn't mean they're not there. Let me try and like set this down. Does it move is the question. That might be all it closes. Oh. Okay, no, it's not gonna close. That's a bummer. As I was making it, I was thinking that maybe my spine is not wide enough for my pages. Like maybe this cylinder contraption here needs to be wider because I noticed on the original artist, it was actually, this cylinder part was higher when you lay it flat than this, which means it was bigger. And I suspect that's the issue because the angle is too tight. It needs to be more like this. I don't know if I'm explaining this in a way that makes sense to anyone, but I'm a little disappointed, but then again, it's fine. We're gonna move on. Okay, so I was brainstorming for a really long time what to put inside my book. The original artist, she basically made it like a swatch book, which I thought was a really cool idea. And that made me start thinking about swatches. I didn't want to do the exact same thing that she did. As you know, I've been playing around loads with tiles. And so I thought of the idea of making tile swatches in this book, like a tile swatch book that you can flip through and see a few different tile design ideas. So I came up with a few patterns and I want to apply them in the same way that I did my tile mug. So the tiles are gonna be bigger than this. I got some more of this great tape that I used for the mug. This is a little thicker, this is 2 millimeters thick. So the tiles are going to be like 8 millimeters by 8 millimeters. I needed them to be fairly small so I could fit enough tiles to actually make a pattern, but I didn't want to make them too small. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay out the tape in the tile pattern, and then if we have time today, fill in the tiles with glaze. Look at that, that is really nice. Look how flat that lays. Maybe that's how we display our book. I think it's gonna open a lot smoother when it's done, because it'll be a lot more like solid then. Okay, you made it to the back page. I'm gonna support them because I don't want to put too much weight on the hinge itself. Let's lay a grid. this is what we're looking at. So I'm gonna fit 2 chunks of tile pattern on each page. So it's going to be 6 tile patterns total. Yeah, I feel pretty good about how square this looks. Okay, everything's taped, and I've also just went ahead and prepped our little squeezy bottles. So let's talk about the color palette that we're working with. The clay that we're using is, of course, this wonderful toasty brown. And then I'm going to use these 3 colors additionally. I was originally planning on doing more colors, but I don't know. I feel like these tile designs look nicer if it's kind of like a more limited color palette. So we're gonna use these ones. The problem is that these are not tested on this brown clay. Some of them are. So I have the black, I have the blue, and I have the magma all tested on this red clay, and they look wonderful. We also did that on the tile mug, but I haven't tested the green, and I don't know how it's going to look. This middle color right here was a green, and then it turned out super, super dark. This is actually a different green glaze that I have, so I hope that it's going to turn out green. I just didn't want to take a chance with like a yellow or something else. I don't have swatches with this brown clay. I really, really need to make swatches, I'm realizing, because I'm using this clay more and more, and I'm putting a lot of effort into this book, and it would be a disaster if this glaze just doesn't show up on this clay. It might happen, but I really want to try anyway. So we're gonna use the green. If you are new here, I'm using Stitch Fiddle. It's like my favorite tile program that I've been working with lately. We're just gonna go through page by page, and then I'm gonna use these kiln stilts to prop it up as I work. So hopefully it doesn't get smudged. This is kind of a crazy, crazy idea. It looks so freaking good. I don't really understand why when I'm pulling off this tape, it doesn't make the glaze chip. I fully expect it to chip more, and it's just not, which is thank goodness, but it looks so good. I'm going to make some markings in pencil to kind of guide me through these pages, because I think if I put the glaze on, I don't think there's any getting it off. So I can't really mess up. So far, so good. I'm going to try to set this up on the kiln shelf now. So I need to put it up on its end without destroying all of these pages. I need like more hands. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. Should I put something on the back? I feel like that might be cute, but can I do it while it's standing up? Maybe just something small? Okay, let's load it in the kiln. Okay, I need y'all to pray for me. I have to be honest, I don't have the highest hopes for this one. I mean, what are the chances that this works out? Pray for me. Okay, the kiln is cool, and I'm very anxious about this one, I have to admit. Like, I feel like if this works out, this could be one of the top 5 coolest things I've ever made. But I don't know. Let's be realistic about this one, eh? Okay, looks interesting. Don't know yet if the hinge moves. Not gonna lie, I'm a little scared to touch it. The glaze looks so cool. They look like little candies, and I do feel like this moving a little, so I'm getting hopeful, okay? Let's see if we can close this. Ooh. I thought this would be a nicer sound. That is the opposite of ASMR. I'm so scared right now. I don't think it's gonna close. No, I don't think it's gonna close. Ooh. It opens. Well, that lays pretty good. Ah, that sound. Okay, let's talk about this. I think it's pretty good for a first try. I think it's not bad at all. I didn't look properly yet, but I don't actually see any cracks right away anyway on the hinges, which is incredible. I love the tiles themselves, the patterns. I think they look so good. I think if I were to change one thing is I think I should have included white like I did on the tile mug, because it's all looking very dark right now. And I think it needs something bright to lighten it up to get that full value spectrum. I'm not gonna complain too much about that because they do look damn good. The other thing that I was toying with while I was making this is if I should put the pattern also on this side, and I feel like I should have. That would look really, really cool. But I feel like for a first go, I'm actually pretty happy with this. I feel pretty good about this. I can't believe that my hinge actually turns. Like, this is what I was envisioning, is that the hinge wouldn't work. I think I know now what I need to do to make it work better. I think I would make the space between the tube part of the hinge and the pin part of the hinge, I would make that a little bit bigger, because any little bit of warping is what's making it struggle to turn. And then the other thing is I would make the whole hinge part bigger. Like, it needs to be bigger in proportion. I mean, I talked about this before, right? Like, the pages are too thick for this hinge. That's why it doesn't close completely. I suspect anyway. I think that must be it. But like, to be honest, I thought this was an impossible project. So I'm going to give myself a good pat on the back for this, because this is a crazy feat of engineering, and like, I'm pretty impressed with myself. So I'm going to have the original artist, the person who first made these types of clay books, linked down below in the video description. That's it for me today. Don't forget to sign up for your free trial of Skillshare, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.